Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant, and welcome back for more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. In the last episode, we got a little bit of the Master Sword's old power restored, thanks to Medli and the Earth Temple. And in this episode, we're going to be moving on to the next temple, which is that island over there. Gale Isle. What information do you have about this island, little map fishy? Are you thinking you want to get into that cave, small fry? That one's protected by crazy winds on that island. Okay, then I'll just tell you a little secret. You can get the iron boots on Ice Ring Isle that we did already. Isn't that convenient for us? And as you can see, I have those iron boots equipped to my Z button right now because they're just so tedious. But they're not as tedious to use as they were in the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time. But holy crap, that is a very strong wind, and you can even tell by the way the blades of grass and the trees are blowing in the wind. That's pretty insane. So we couldn't get close even if we wanted to. Well, we sort of can if we scoot around to the side of the wind over here, but we won't be able to do very much if we try to get in that way. So what we have to do is walk up to it with the iron boots on, and then use our skull hammer to get rid of this stupid thing. And head inside. And just like the Earth Temple, we have another one of these stone slabs, but this one doesn't have a harp on it, and it has a different song written on it. So, same procedure as before. Specific directions. You learn the wind god's aria. You learn the wind god's aria. Are you the new hero? I am Fado of the Kokiri tribe. I know I appear to you as a child, but the eyes can oft deceive. I'm a most esteemed sage. I had been praying here so that the power to repel evil would continue to be contained within the blade of the Master Sword. But I was attacked by the evil Ganondorf, and this is what happened to me. You wish to return the power to your blade, don't you? Of course I do. In that case, look for the one who has the same instrument that I hold, and teach him the song you just played. But you know all this from before, don't you? Once you do, I'm certain the holder of the instrument will feel the blood of the sages awaken within his veins. That Wind Waker was used long ago to conduct us sages when we played our song to call upon the gods. In those days, it was always the king who conducted for us. Please, tell the king that I will still play, even in the next world. Who are you playing for? There's nobody there. It's me. Why don't you play for me? I could use your help right now, Fado. Oh well. Looks like the only race missing from this game is the Gorons, but I'm sure they'll show up eventually, because we just saw the Kokiris, oh, I guess the Deku Scrubs are missing too, but no one really cares about the Deku Scrubs. So, who do we know that has a violin instrument? Tell you what, though. We'll follow the same logic we did before and just go to the next dungeon that we would have gone to at the beginning of the game. Because Dragon Roost Island was the first place we went to, and we found Medli there, and all was well. So now we'll try the Forest Haven, because that was the second place we went. And not because we saw that Makar had a violin earlier. No, that's not the reason we're going back here. That would be logical. And there's no such thing as logic in a Zelda game. What am I saying? Isn't that the basis of the entire game? It's a puzzle game. You have to use logic to solve puzzles. Without logic, there are no puzzles to be solved, or you don't know how to solve the puzzles. And hey, look, the mailbox is going a little crazy there. What you got for me, buddy? Good evening. We have a letter for you. Cash on delivery, 10 rupees. That's not too bad. How you been, man? Mail center. Ah, it's the guy that we helped out on Dragon Wrist with the yeah, mail letter game. And he gives us 20 rupees, even though we had to pay 10 rupees for the thing. So we only netted 10 rupees, but hey, it's 10 rupees. I'm not going to complain about it. Are you going to complain about it? You are? No rupees for you, then. And if we come over to the side of the waterfall here, maybe we're a little bit too close. Sounds like a violin. I guess that's our hint that we need to get into the waterfall somehow. And ignore the Bokobabas. I wanted to ignore the Bokobabas, but they didn't like to ignore me, so let's get rid of them too. I really don't like attacking you guys if I don't have to, but if I have to, I will attack you. So we gotta figure out a way to get into that waterfall, and it's a little more complicated than you might think, although it can be pretty easy if you know what you're doing. Just slide down, swing your way in. And of course I would miss. Why wouldn't I miss? I love missing. There we go. And this is a really neat little place you only get to see once in the game. I actually love this place. You have the water surrounding the entire area, you have the lit torches in here, the quiet rumble of the waterfall outside. It's really nice. And hey, look, it's Makar.
Oh, UniGiant, I haven't seen you in quite some time, have I? I'm surprised you were able to find me here. You're wondering why I'm all the way down here. I'm practicing a new song for next year's ceremony, and I need privacy.
Sorry.
It isn't any fun if anybody knows what I'm playing in advance. What? You can hear my song outside? Really? I thought the sound of the waves would drown it out. Perhaps I should play a little more softly when I practice from now on.
Well, now you know for next time, Makar. Okay, let's go find the sage. How about we try conducting you, buddy?
Why, isn't that the conductor's baton? UniGiant, are you a maestro? That's incredible. Are you going to conduct for me with those sparklies over my head? What kind of song is it? I can't wait to hear it. Please conduct. Does it go something like this? Strange, why does it feel like I already know this song? UniGiant, the sacred song you conducted has awakened me. I know myself now. I'm the sage of the Wind Temple. It is my fate to return the power to repel evil to your master sword. And to ease the regrets of my ancestors. Oh, UniGiant, please, you must take me with you to the Wind Temple.
Something about that scene I always find funny is that Link actually has to picture Makar as Fado in order to conduct him. It's like it's beneath him to conduct Makar. What a loser. Anyway, actually, let me point out that we now have Makar sitting on Coral's head. Isn't that just cool looking? Look at him sitting on his head, grabbing onto the horns. I wonder how he likes it. Anyway, we're going to take a quick warp to Windfall Island and sail straight to Gale Isle so we can do the Wind Temple. Isn't it amazing that we're actually making a lot of progress for once, unlike we've been doing in the last 4 months? Please, get off my back of that, please. I'll meet you at Gale Isle. UniGiant, as was the case with Medli, I have no doubt that Makar too has some special role to play in these events. Discovering that role is your duty. I am certain that by cooperating the two of you can overcome the dangers and pitfalls of this temple. Does nobody like Makar? It's like Medli got 5 times as much attention as this guy did. I almost feel sorry for him. Poor Makar. Why do I always check the stone slab? I also love how the sound he makes when he walks, too. Hello, Makar. So cute. Let's hear this a 4th time. I think it was the 4th time. Boom! Yeah, I had to do that again. Totally worth it. And here we are at the Wind Temple. Or perhaps it is the Wind Temple. I have only read it in books. And just like before, hop down the hole. And this temple is quite different than the Earth Temple. I find it a little bit more difficult and much more tricky to figure out. So hopefully I'll remember what we're doing. But, Wind Temple! There's a lot of wind in here, unlike the Earth Temple, which it sort of had a lot of earth. But we'll see that Makar actually has a couple of different uses than Medli did. Remember, Medli used her harp to reflect light in the Earth Temple. Well, here, Makar has his own unique ability, which is the ability to plant seeds in these little mounds of dirt, and they sprout trees. And as long as we don't get hit by the Wizrobe immediately behind us, which isn't threatening, we can plant the second seed, get a treasure chest here, and do absolutely nothing else. Please don't hit me, Wizrobe. There we go. And of course, a Stalfos is going to pop up here, but I don't believe we need to deal with it, so let's just bring Makar all the way over here. His flying is a little more difficult to control than Medli's. So we step on the switch, leave Makar there, and we will see the second mechanic of this temple, which is... Actually, I think that's 100 rupees. I wouldn't mind getting that. I actually wouldn't mind dealing with the Stalfos either. What should we do first? So many things to do. I'll deal with the Stalfos first because he's just going to be a pain in the ass, even though the Wizrobe is also going to be a pain in the ass. Won't be as much of a pain in the ass. So, deal with you, and then we'll deal with the Wizrobe. Where are you, Wizrobe? Wizrobe, Wizrobe. Oh, there you are. Okay, that's dealt with, and we'll get the pot warp while we're here. So, there we go. And if I can open the treasure chest, we will pick up our orange rupee, 100 rupees. Once again, you want to get as many rupees in this game as you possibly can, because Lord knows you're going to need them. Now, the second mechanic of this dungeon are these little spring switches, which you have to depress with your iron boots, and usually fly off of them with your Deku Leaf. Not always, but just get used to doing it. And like before, when you're flying with your Deku Leaf, you can have the camera all the way above you, or you can zoom in with the map on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and that usually helps you get a good idea of where you are in space. Oh, there are so many gimmicks to this temple, though. Lots of air switches like we saw in the Forbidden Woods. Like this, with these gates that will just, you know, it's easier to show you when we actually move the gate. But there's going to be even more item switching in this dungeon than there was in the Earth Temple. So yeah, those wind switches that open up the gates. I believe the switches on the opposite side will close it. Yeah, these also operate the gate, those switches, and we have those guillotine-looking things. I forget what they're called. They appear in so many Zelda games, it's not funny. And once again, item switching. So let's plant a couple of more trees. We're going to be planting a lot of trees in this episode, really. Which I suppose is good for the environment, but, I mean, we are indoors. It's not as though there are going to be many people benefiting from our planting trees in here. Hello, Link. So yeah, let's grab the car. Once again, you have to have the sage with you on your head in order to go through the door with them. I'm not sure I stressed that enough in the Earth Temple, but you have to carry the sage with you through the door in order for them to actually go through the door. It's quite annoying. I wish if they were just following you that they would also follow you through the door, but you have to be carrying them on your head. Yeah, it'll take me a little while to get used to Makar's flying. It's certainly different than Medli's flying, because Medli's flying was just, you know, flying. They really are different. I don't know how to describe them. Medli's was more intuitive. I mean, Makar's flying. He's light as a feather, though. I mean, I can understand Link being able to carry him through doors, but Medli was about his weight. I guess the power bracelets helped with that. Oh my god, Floor Masters, Makar, no! No, 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 no! My sage! Well, looks like we're gonna have to go on without him. Sorry, buddy!